Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, aka the Kilted Prepper, and today we're going to talk about karambit. Are they worth it to have as a survival knife? And we're going to talk about the pros and the cons today. But before we do that, if you're interested in detective stories, there will be a link in the description to my book called Bloody Crosses. So I would say take a look, it's in Dutch if you're interested. So, a karambit. A karambit is a rounded exotic knife from Southeast Asia, and yeah, I've seen a lot of preppers having this, but I've been thinking about it, and I actually have not many. I've not seen many preppers actually use it. So today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons about the karambit and how they fit up to just a regular knife, a survival knife that anyone would have, like this Glock FM87. So let's talk about it. And yeah, before I'm going to sit down, as you can see, the first thing that I would find a little bit annoying is the way you used to carry them. I prefer just a knife just to my side or whenever I want it, and I just have to take it and put it back. The karambit comes in this sort of how do you say this in English? Where you sleeve? No, not sleeve. Yeah, whatever. Sheet, that is. It comes in this kind of sheet, and what I notice is because you have to put it around one arm, it goes around the neck, goes around the other shoulder, and it's strapped to your belt. And that way, the tactical part of this is, if you have to take your knife in a self-defense situation, you can just actually do it in one finger move, and you have it. With the Glock knife, it's stuck. You cannot just pull it out because it's clicked in. But while it's less likely you can get it out fast, but it's not really that fast. You see, let's make a comparison. You see somebody coming at you, and now you're ready to defend with the karambit. With the Glock, you see somebody coming? Yeah, I'm left-handed, but it's not that much difference. And if it's 1/10 of a second difference that you need, then you should have really put a more of an eye on your surrounding and awareness. So that's something that the karambit has for it. It's easier to take out, but that's also a bad part in my opinion, because it's hanging like this. So if you're going into the bush or the wilderness and it starts to snag onto something like with a ring, let's just see how much pressure it needs. With just one finger move I could take out. So imagine if you are tired, if you are keeping awareness around you but not watching your knife, you're exhausted, you're hungry, you have all this stress, and when you finally need it, you notice that your karambit has been pulled out or felled out by movement, and that's not really good. Many people would say, why do you wear it like that? You can just wear it anywhere else, because the sheet has some parts where you can just put it anywhere onto your body, but then you lose again that ability to pull it fast. So that's another win for the Glock. And even if you put it like that, you can just take it out like this and you have it already. But yet again, you can take it out easily. It can be snagged onto something, and that's also bad in a self-defense situation, because if you are wrestling with somebody who attacked you, you did not know, they can easily, with even just one big pull of a finger, or by the wrestling it being filled out, they can just take it and use it against you. That's why I prefer to have my self-defense knife a little clicked in. For if somebody is trying to pull your knife, they cannot do it like that, and in that moment you can do some hand-to-hand combat like Krav Maga or something, and that's something I prefer to do. Right? Take a seat down. So yeah, in certain situations it could be good. And another thing, if you're going to wear it outside of your body. if you're going to wear it beneath your jacket or something, because if you're going to wear it outside, people will see it, authorities will see it, like police or criminals will see it, and they know he has a knife. Let's go for the knife first instead of the surprise element that you would have from pulling this in one movement. So that's only in certain specific situations this is good. Another thing that the karambit has is, in self-defense at least, is the part, if you have a regular knife and you wield it like that, and somebody's grabbing your hand and you try to strangle it, that's a little bit hard to do. But with the karambit, if the thing behind it is, if somebody grabbing your wrist, you can just go around and slide open the wrist of the person who is holding your hand, and you can go further. Another thing that I like about the karambit is, if you're in a self-defense and you do not want to kill the person, you just want to keep them off you or knock them out, you can use this as a sort of brass knuckle, smash them with it and knock them out and get away. Or if things get out of the hand, you can still do some slashing behind it. So that's another thing you can do in a self-defense situation. Of course, you can just, because it's designed like a claw of an animal, to slash it like this. You can hold it in your pink. You can. This is especially effective if it's a double-edged karambit. This is not a double-edged one that you can slice and go back, and that's the way that that is actually being used. Strike with it to knock out or dazzle your opponent. So that's something that it has, but the same thing you can do if you hold it beneath it. If somebody holds your hands, you can just do the same thing with a regular knife. So the karambit is good in specific situations, I would say. The next thing I would say is, can you make, what I find important about a survival knife is, can you make a fire with it? So we're going to do some fire test, and we're not going to use the edge of it, because that will obviously work, but we will use this edge to see if we can use it to make a fire without damaging the sharp part of the blade. Alright, that seems to be working fine. So in a survival situation, you don't have to sacrifice your edge blade, in contrary to some knives, because with this I prefer to use the lower side of the knife instead of sacrificing the full length of the knife or the saw blade of my Glock knife. So yeah, that's a good part of it, but it's still not really the big advantages that I am wishing for. Alright, another thing you can do with it, if you would look at this, you would think, can I make a firewood with it? Well, cutting a thick part is not a good one. You can also not making a chopping motion. That's not really going to cut it. With a longer knife, you have more weight to it, and you can do some more chopping motions with it. So yeah, I would say it's not good for that. But to make tinder, for example, you can use this motion, or you can put it against you and pull it like this. So that way it's more interesting to use it more as a wood tool that way. But yeah, the thing that I don't like about this is the karambit is very thin on this side. So even if I'm going to do something like puncturing leather or making holes into wood, the part is, if it's good in the beginning, but the more you're going to use this, I can guarantee you, if I'm going to make some small holes into wood or lead or thick leather or hide, this will easily break off at some point. So that's something that is not good. With a knife like this, this is more stronger, thicker, if you can see the comparison. If you perhaps can see, like that. I hope you can see it. So that's another bad thing about it. You can keep sharpening it, but it has less uses than a straight survival knife, I would say. So yeah, it's much more thinner. What is another thing for making it sharp? Uh, if you have a sharpener like this, you can just take a long knife and do it into one straight motion to keep how do you say this? Keep it straight, that you won't botch the line into something that you don't want. With this, it's a little bit more difficult because you cannot just put it away. You have to, first of all, get it into a good position, and you have to do this twisty, how do you say this, movement with your hand and your wrist to keep a straight edge while you're sharpening it. And that's another disadvantage of a karambit, or you're going to do it with other tools, but yeah, it's something that you will find with most of the sharpening tools, even if it's a whetstone like or something like this, where you have to go around it. You always have to do some twisty movement with your wrist and your hands. So that's another bad thing about it. If you are going to knock on something, like to break a soft piece of stone, break open nuts with a straight knife, you can just pummel it like that. But with this, you can strike something very hard, but it's too delicate. As you can see, this is a metal ring, and which one do you think will start to bend or break earlier, this or this small piece of metal? And even so, if you don't have a straight edge, this is very pointy, so you're going to put more holes into what you're going to knock over. And with this, as you can see, this will flatten with the knife, and it's more handier to put something in something else, like a nail or like a wood pen into a hole to make a shelter. So yeah, that's another bad thing about the karambit. And I would say the price depends on what brand you buy them, because you got them in all sort of prices and qualities. Of course, there will be a lot of cheap knockoffs. You also have karambits that you can fold up, and those I would never buy, because that's the good thing about this type of karambit, because it is one piece of steel. So if you're going to do some things with it, it will be less likely to break. But if it's one that folds up, that is a weak point. If it breaks and you cut something, there is a chance that your fingers will be hurt like that. I would say it's very good for in the garden. That is actually the most use I have with this karambit, and that is used in the garden. If I'm going to cut some longer grass or some branches, I can just cut off a branch like this in a motion. I can take some grass and do a circular movement to cut around the grass to take it out without taking out the roots of the grass, so the grass can still keep growing, so I can gather it for my guinea pigs without taking out the roots, and it will take much longer to grow it back. So that way I have more grass for my guinea pigs without losing the roots. So that's a better use for a karambit for this, and for self-defense in certain situations. But to be honest, if I'm going to choose a knife, I stick to my favorite one, the Glock FM87, and the karambit is just a helpful tool for very, very specific situations, or for people who like to collect knives. Yeah, so if you got any other survival uses for a karambit that I did not mention in this video, please let me know. I'm always eager to learn. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I hope this helped you, and see you next video. Cheers.